Are you serious? Pretty sure you have to ask permission. It's my body. This is crazy. Life is so unexpected, but I feel at peace. I'm in prayer. I had some fun in the boom boom room. So happy that she did not deliver my baby. What's up, amigos? It's good to see you again. I am finally back. I am so excited because today we're gonna talk about my birth story. Let's go ahead and get into it. My due date for my first baby was July 13th. Well, it was the beginning of July on a Thursday. I was 38 weeks and I went in for my regularly scheduled checkup. Why is that hard to say? It's like a tongue twister. Regularly. I was expecting to just go on in, be checked out, and leave shortly after. Turns out I had high blood pressure. Well, the doctor comes in, the OB, and she tells me, listen, you might have this baby today. I was like, no, I have 2 more weeks. I'm a first-time mom, and usually you go either to 40 weeks or after 40 weeks. That's what's most common. I was like, okay, this is a little crazy. My birth preference was to have everything natural. Really just, I wanted to avoid all interventions as possible. Deliver without epidural or any use of drugs. That was my preference, but I was still open-minded. I told myself, listen, if I absolutely need it, what's important is that I have a healthy baby. And so I called my husband at work and I told him what was going on, and he was like, what the heck, are you kidding me? Okay, so I'm in the hospital and I have high blood pressure. They tested me 3 different times and it was high. It's July 1st. It's officially her birth month. Daniel's on his way. He's bringing me an acai bowl. It's just crazy. Life is so unexpected, but I feel at peace. I'm in prayer. Loved ones praying, and God's gonna make it work how it's supposed to, and I trust in him. Okay. We were basically ready for anything. And like I said, I really wanted to go into labor naturally. And so I was asking my OB all these questions. Well, what is the risk? And, what would happen if I decide not to have the baby today? Well, she said I had to go to the hospital right after I left the doctor's office and basically be monitored. And they were going to check for preeclampsia, which is where you can develop lots of swelling, have high blood pressure, and that can be very dangerous, deadly even to not only baby, but mom too. So of course, we followed medical advice and I went to the hospital and we were preparing for a possible delivery at week 38. I was in shock. I was definitely in shock. I was starting to feel upset and overwhelmed because I did not want to be induced. I have heard not so great things about being induced and how, your labor pain, your contractions go from 0 to 100, so your body doesn't get the chance to move through each contraction as it progresses, and it's just extremely painful, and the probability of getting an epidural is much higher with inductions. And I kind of felt defeated already, but I was, I talked to a few people and I was encouraged that it was going to be okay. God was still in control. And so I went to get checked and my blood pressure was still high, although it wasn't as high as it was testing at the doctor's office. And it began to decrease. The results had come back and I did not have preeclampsia. Praise Jesus. I was very thankful. Of course we all were, but the midwife explained to me that there was still a danger that I would randomly develop high blood pressure at a dangerous level. And they explained to me I could either still have the baby that day and they would induce me, or I could take the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and try everything I can to start progressing into labor naturally. They still wanted to induce me and they did not want me to go past 39 weeks because of the risks. I spoke to Daniel, my husband, and together we decided we absolutely did not want to have the baby that day, and I wanted to try everything possible to go into labor naturally. The requirement was I had to monitor my blood pressure at home. And so when I tell you I tried everything in the book, the midwife gave me suggestions. Of course, I Googled, researched, talked to others. other experienced women. And I did it all. I did the pineapple juice. I was walking, I did the curb walking. I had some fun in the boom boom room, which is difficult. You have a huge belly attached to you. You gotta be creative. Anyways, I mean, we tried everything. I tried a couple controversial things too, but man, I was just so determined to go into labor naturally. Well, not much was changing. So it's induction day and I'm feeling overwhelmed and kind of bummed because I didn't feel any different. I'm trusting in God's plan at this point and just trying to remember that His will is above all else. I get in there, they prep me. I have my mom there and Daniel, of course. Thank God they were able to both be there with all the COVID restrictions. Okay, this is such a cool part, all right? I get in there. I'm scheduled for an induction, which means that my body can't go into, or hasn't gone into labor naturally, so they have to trick my body into thinking that it's ready to start contracting and labor to get this baby out. Well, I get there and they put me on the monitor and the doctor comes in and kind of wasn't a fan of this doctor. I'm so happy that she did not deliver my baby, let me tell you. But she comes in and she kind of doesn't really greet me or anything. She's just, you can tell, all business. I'm just another patient. And this is a huge moment in my life. But anyways, she comes in and she looks at the monitor and she's like, "Girl, you're here for an induction. Do you realize that you're in labor right now?" I was like, what? I looked at my mom, I looked at Daniel, and I was just like, are you serious? What? And they said, yes, you are contracting. You're contracting in patterns. We can see it on the monitor. And all I could say was, thank you, Jesus, because He knew the desire of my heart and He let me experience going into labor naturally. The doctor said, well, I mean, let me check you. They had to check my cervix to see how dilated it was. It wasn't too dilated. I was already about 1 centimeter and I was still around that 1.5 or so. But the really awesome part is she said my cervix was prepped. It was thinned great. They were gonna give me Cervidil that kind of helps prep your cervix. And I swear, I believe it was because of the dates in the raspberry leaf tea that I was taking for many weeks prior. But anyways, she goes in there and checks me. This is the part that I mean, I didn't like the doctor really to begin with, but this just kind of... So she's checking my cervix. She's all the way up there and she's like, oh, okay, your cervix is, what word did they use? It's really, oh, I wish I remembered the word, but it was prepped really well. She's in there and she goes, okay, oh, yep, looking good, feeling good. And then she says, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and break your membrane. And just like that, she breaks my membrane. It's like, I'm pretty sure you have to ask permission. It's my body. She was supposed to ask me permission. I could not believe she did that. I felt it. I mean, it wasn't super painful, but it wasn't comfortable. And she was just kind of like that, rough around the edges. And so she kind of gave me the option. She's like, well, you can go ahead and get Pitocin now and get this induction started, or you can see what your body does. I mean, you're already in labor at the very early stages. You can start walking around and try to kickstart your labor even faster. And I was like, yeah, definitely. I want to see if I can do this on my own. I said something like, it would be amazing if I could even avoid Pitocin altogether. And she kind of sneered and said, how are you going to get the baby out then if we don't give you Pitocin? It's like, it's kind of contradicting what you just told me. But anyways, I'll be right back because I have to help my baby. Oh, no, honey, don't think or talk like that, because if you do, that is just gonna be worse. Can you not tell me that right now? Like, that is not encouraging me whatsoever. Am I gonna be that woman that screams like a dying animal? I made sounds that I never knew I was capable of making. She checked me again and I was 10 centimeters. She's like, oh my gosh, your baby's head's right there. You're about to pop this baby out.